Salve a tutti, qui Mr. Frog che vi parla e vi do il benvenuto in The Stanley Parable, un gioco sensazionale e soprattutto geniale che mi ha colpito molto e ho voluto portarlo nel canale. E niente, adesso c'è un video iniziale, io non parlerò così voi potete vedere. Il gioco è in inglese, abbiamo però i sottotitoli in italiano, quindi parlerò anche sopra il narratore, quindi potete leggere i sottotitoli voi. Adesso vi lascio al video iniziale.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, of every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Eccomi tornato. Bene.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yes.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Se io ci andassi?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single... No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Sfrontavano. Spento. Niente da fare. Non c'è un cazzo da fare. Vabbè, continua avanti. Bello sto quadro. Sì, spegniamo tutti i computer. Tutto chiuso. Vabbè, ho capito. Andiamo avanti che è meglio. I hate Mondays. Bello. Io odio il lunedì.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Perché dovrei andare in quella a sinistra? Questa...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sì, proprio un attimo così. Non sapevo manco che c'era stata una riunione di qui, però.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Ok. C'è scritto sta tassina?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Allora, possiamo anche andare avanti.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
È una trappola, non mi fido io. Non mi fido.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Grazie. Comunque ci vuole tipo una testa. Cioè qua dietro ogni volta che passo da una parte si chiude una porta. Così a caso.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Grazie.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
E chi sarebbe lei?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
No, io non mi fido.
That's her, Stanley.
cazzo.
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Questo ancora preso.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you
Sì.
just unplug the phone?
Non pensavo neanche che si
No,
poteva
that
fare.
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
Neanche io.
Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
Cosa?
How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making.
Io
Or
non
did
si
you
sta
not
capendo
grasp
niente.
the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Che cazzo?
It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice.
Non ho
He could
parole.
spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of
Non ho parole.
impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My
Credo che
goodness,
questo gioco si
is
commenterà
it
solo
4:30?
perché...
I'm supposed to be having a back, sack and crack."
Ok, e adesso? Pratica, bene. E con questo?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back.
Ah.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Va bene. Come detto, questo gioco era così e niente. Vabbè. E adesso che devo fare, scusa? Scegliamo un'altra volta.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Quindi cosa succede adesso? Beh, andiamo. Ok. Cioè,
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real
che
world.
bello!
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Di nuovo! Ma che è sta cosa? Vabbè, stavolta la sinistra che è meglio. Bene, adesso sono Stanley.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Wow. Apriti. Questo c'è un nome diverso, voglio entrare. Broom Cruise. Ok.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Salivo verso l'ufficio del capo. Niente da fare. Niente da fare. Tutto chiuso. No.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Sulla licenza c'è scritto che questo non parla mai. Io ragazzi sono strabiliato da questo
Stanley
gioco.
spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the
Squadra
receiver,
notte 115
right there on the
superiori.
wall.
C'ho il microfono, porca miseria. Che cazzo devo fare?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
Sì, t'ho sentito.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Vabbè, io ragazzi non so che fare.
Okay, fine. You're not gonna do it?
Sì,
But
esatto.
you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
E adesso?
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing
Un'altra
responsibly
volta!
and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Va bene, entriamo la porta sinistra per l'ennesima volta. Va benissimo, guarda. Pensavo che era un gioco. Vabbè,
Yet there was
lasciamo
not a
stare.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of
Sì,
disbelief,
sì. Che cazzo?
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ma ci sono già entrato! Ma perché viene messo qua allora? Andiamo
Yet
qua.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow
Io
my
mi
lead
sparo,
and you'll be
io mi
fine.
sparo.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
E stavolta entro in quella destra.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
No, è troppo tardi perché tu hai fatto già casino. Ma io cosa cazzo? Oh mio Dio. Oh mio Dio. Non ho parole. Non ho parole, cioè. Così la prima volta che ci gioco vedo già. Vabbè. Che cazzo?
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that you...
non ho fatto
my
niente.
story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? Left here like so much garbage. It's worthless now.
Okay.
And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Ok. Io non commento perché. Ah, ok.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
Ah, sono felice,
What,
guarda.
did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world
Ma ci ho
outside
provato ad andare
you.
di qua, ma.
You're a child.
Io sono un bambino.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would
Ma
have
non ci
seen
sono
there was a
andato!
whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
Che cazzo c'è adesso? Di nuovo?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on
cazzo.
his left.
No, ti prego. No, ti prego. No, che è?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
La fine.
I need you to walk through the door.
Vabbè, ci sono diversi finali, quindi non credo che mi limiterò a questo, però.
Stanley, this is important.
Vedete come sono fatto.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do.
Io comunque sono rimasto strabiliato da questo.
Forward, please. Choose. Do
What?
something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story.
Ci sto capendo più un cazzo.
So,
Comunque.
you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Ragazzi, vi ricordo che su questo gioco ci sono diversi finali, quindi io continuerò a fare... provare a fare gli altri finali per vedere com'è questo gioco, perché così... Dai, abbiamo fatto un episodio e ce l'abbiamo finito. Ah, ecco. Mi sa che... Vabbè. Chiaro sto gioco. Di nuovo. No, te prego. Ma è vero, ci sono
The
diversi
meeting
finali.
room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on,
Vabbè,
he would never
io
be
ragazzi
alone ever
vi lascio.
again.
Spero che questo video vi sia piaciuto. Spero, ovviamente, che questo video vi sia piaciuto. E alla prossima. Continuerò a fare video su questo gioco perché mi è piaciuto moltissimo. E niente, ci vediamo alla prossima. Ciao.